If I need to answer something at the door, I'll just go out quick or whatever. I'll let you know.
Hey, and welcome to this week's Invincibility Tips, the commitments, the mindsets, the frameworks that we use to unlock our gifts and our superpowers for online business and community building, and what we need to do in order to be strong and determined digital publishers and new media marketers. I'm here with Chris Camp.
Hey, James.
Helping us along in this journey that we're going through. Today we're going to be talking about the cure for all wounds and genuine wealth creation. If you've been following along with us in this series, you know we've been going through these different formulas for unlocking the cure for each of these core wounds that humanity faces, both in life and in business. So if you've gone through the whole series, this is number 7, and this is the final cure that cures all the cures in the formula. So this is kind of like the master cure that allows you to understand and utilize all of the cures that we've gone through so far. So if you've missed a few episodes or you weren't there in the beginning, that's okay, because we're going to be reviewing all of them today. And then showing you how this process fits into genuine wealth creation. So a lot of you are following along because you're here on the internet, you're searching for mentors, you're looking for ways that you can have genuine wealth creation, am I right? So today that's going to satisfy a lot of your guys' hunger. Because we're gonna answer that, and it's gonna be real concrete for you. So my goal is, by the end of this hangout, by the end of this webinar, we've answered all of your questions, and you feel a sturdy foundation beneath your feet, so that you can go out there, and this week you can accomplish your goals in digital publishing and new media marketing. You can use this information to create genuine wealth for your online business. I'm going to be going over a few books with you today where I get this information. We're going to look at some Robert Kiyosaki, his book, The Business of the 21st Century. I want to go into a little bit of some things I've been learning from the dot-com secrets, Russell Brunson.
Continue on. Give me just a second.
Do it. The secret book, and I have some secret books that I'm not quite ready to share with you yet. Let me take you back to a story about when I got started doing these webinars, right? So you get involved in online business, you get sucked into this world of digital publishing and new media marketing, you start finding out how you can blog, you can create content on the internet, if that's through video like we're doing now. Order, finding out, digging up some information on something. If you're curating content from other websites, you're taking photographs from places you've traveled, all these things, podcasting, using audio. We learn all these things in digital content creation, right? This is how we create our built environment. This is how we create a world where we can take a person who may have no information, no knowledge about an offer, the value that you represent, and bring them through a story which takes them from, you know, being cold to hot, wanting to buy.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and
relate, because I didn't have, you know, a digital or video background, you know, or even internet background before I started this. So
right, so we connect people with mentors. We work with a crew of consultants that educate people on the necessary skills to build online business, create these, grow these organizations, and build these communities, right? All through using digital platforms. And the tools that we use, the automation processes, are what allow us to have time freedom. They allow us to scale our business. They allow us to step away from the business and still have it operate for us. Like we've noticed, we do these hangouts, we do these webinars, we do these blogs. We have a few small intimate group that is with us live, and we appreciate you being here live with us. And uh, and if you are here with us, leave us a comment. Show us some love. Please write something down in the bottom. Share a little bit about your story, why you're here. If you got any questions for us, we're here to answer those for you. I know also a lot of you like to chat with me personally on Facebook. That's okay too. Get those messages into us, and we'll answer all your problems for you on here. And this doesn't just go away after we're done recording this either. This is logged and blogged and SEO tagged and up there on the internet forever, right? This is how we become time lords. I used to joke with my Doctor Who fans friends, and I would say, hey, you want to know how to really become a time lord? Now you start blogging, start doing these digital hangouts.
Yeah. I was just listening to an Inner Circle audio, and he was talking about how that he was Brian Couch was talking about how he was teaching a lot of the same stuff to different people that were coming in, you know, and so that video allowed him to 10x his time. You know what I mean? Because like there becomes some basic things you have to learn and some main lessons, you know, along with the digital products that, you know, Empower offers as far as like having digital publishing online and an online business and community.
Right. So, you know, not only do we give people the opportunity to be able to publish themselves and create that automation for themselves so that people can continue to come get influenced by your knowledge and your information, but what really separates our movement apart is that we have this collective of consultants and coaches and people, so that, you know, you're not just given the tools and say go, you know, use them, but we're here to you know, act as mentors and really help you along every step of the way from concept to completion to get your idea out there in front of the right audience. And you know, we work with people that come in that know exactly what they want. They're like, I am an entrepreneur. This is my goal. I want to reach this destination. And then there's other people that are really just kind of looking to learn. They don't necessarily know what value it is that they have, if they even have value yet. And that's okay too. We give these people time. We allow these people to work with our affiliate program and able to make money immediately as soon as you get started working with the program, to your income disclosure for full details. And what is it that really separates us apart here is that these mentors that are coming in and working with us, you get these opportunities to work with them both live, like how you're doing with us now, and then you also get an opportunity to understand and learn these new skills, level up yourself, develop your mindset, your skill set through recordings, right? Through processes that we continue to upgrade every season, right? We have the latest version of you know, what's working now in the marketplace that's going to get you the most money available for you. And anytime something's not working, you know, we get rid of it. It's old, it's not relevant anymore, we immediately replace it in an evergreen model. And so it's kind of like, you know, you go to college or something, and then like 20 years, you know, or even a year later, you know, the things you learn in college are no longer relevant anymore because we work in an information and technology world here where things are constantly
Up,
upgrading and developing, right?
right,
So it's like you need to invest that another like 50 grand to get another college education every year. Well, we eliminate that, right? We get that value immediately to you, no extra cost, just for being involved in the community. That's what it's like being involved in an information technology community. We have this crew consistently bringing in new information, new technology for us to use, at no additional cost, right? As long as you're a member, right?
right,
Um, and part of this process, is understanding the system in which it works, right? So it's like when you're new, you come in and you plug into, certain tasks that you have to do. We have these kind of you can look at them as tasks in the beginning, these 8 things that you have to do. This is the Empower system that we go by, this program that we plug people into. And at the beginning, you look at it, okay, there are these 8 tasks that I have to do. But then, as you begin learning, as you begin practicing, you begin to understand, it's like, okay, these aren't so much tasks as they are processes. And now you're going through a process which is a little bit higher of a vibration, and you understand that this process is leading to something. And then you understand that it's about these values, these 8 different values that we're creating,
right,
and then even the highest level is you understand that it's these 8 different aspects of consciousness that you can be aware of. And then that goes into the management concept of building your organization. So, like I said, some people are going to be looking at this and getting started for the process of growing their own organization, and some people are going to be, and they're going to be looking at modeling their organization after the sustainable model that these mentors have set up. Others, like myself, see the value and see the mission of what we're doing here, to set 100 families free each year. And you're going to want to align with us and be a part of our team and join us in our marketing circles and understand how to learn and sell this business, right? And those are part of the freedoms that we're here to uphold, right? Uh, that's the most important first and fundamental freedom, is that you're free here to sell or to market anything that you choose. You're free here to write your story, share your story any way you want, any
right,
story you like. You're free here to market in any way, right? We have it's kind of like a buffet of mentors that you can learn from, different ways you can market your story, market your value, market your information. A lot of people like Facebook advertising. I like marketing on Facebook. Facebook works great for me. I love meeting people that way. Some people like to use Google Bing ads. Some people like to do solo ads. Some people use YouTube. Some people use Twitter, Pinterest. It's all good.
right,
And it's like this buffet. You get to pick, from which mentor you like to learn from. Some mentors are really hard, right? They're tough. Like if you got on to Empower Hour yesterday, Tracy Walker, she's a tough cookie, man. She's going, like, if you don't like get your ass in the gear and start grinding and getting some results after listening to Tracy, I don't know what's wrong with you, but I kind of have a different vibe. I'm more about the love. I'm a lot more understanding and forgiving, and I think that we can motivate people through love and making people feel really good. Every mentor has their different edge, and some are going to relate to you and some aren't. But my suggestion to you is be humble, and and to check in on how humble you are, and because it's these people that are humble that are having the most success. It's like Michael Jordan. you might think that, questionably, one of the all-time best sports player ever, right? Um, and people always say he's cocky, right? He's incredibly cocky. Uh,
Hmm.
he he's always up there just spouting game, just like being like, like, oh, definitely. You talk to him, he's like, he knows he's gonna win, but you talk to his coaches, he say he's one of the most coachable people there is, right? So be coachable. Um, that's what's going to bring you success. Sam Walton, the owner of Walmart. I'm not here to, I mean, it's kind of a debatable company with its socials, welfare, whatever. I'm not here to debate about the company, but Sam Walton, as a human being, incredibly humble person, right? Because he spent so much time. They say he wound up in a Brazilian jail. How did Sam Walton end up in a Brazilian jail? Is he was down in Brazil in other people's stores on the floor with a tape measure, measuring, how far are the shelves from each other in the store, and they thought he was crazy through jail. But he
Never
was
heard that one.
he was being humble, right? Because he wanted to learn what are these other people doing.
Right.
Um, so he's spending more time in other people's stores than he was in his own. So it's kind of like that. We want to spend, more time in other people's brains, right? People who have the results than us, people who are more intelligent than us, that we're being humble and learn from them, learn from these mentors. So,
No,
yeah,
that's a really good point because we have a community of people who have like a lot of skills, like many people who know a lot of areas that I don't know, and but you can use that to your advantage. If you're humble enough to learn, you can learn from people, and it's there for us.
right. So, I often, I refer to these books. I refer to past teachers and mentors I've been working with. I refer to audios that you've been listening to. All these things are going to increase your skill set. They're gonna level you up, um, because you're going to get paid in relation to the difficulty of problems that you can solve. So we want to have you to be able to solve difficult problems. So we refer you to resources that enable you to solve the relevant problems of the day. Now, there's certain key concepts that are kind of always going to be relevant, that if you can just lock on to these key concepts, you're going to be able to solve problems left and right? There's certain key concepts of humanity, right? That's kind of where I've been going into with these invincibility tips, is we look at these core commitments that were seen in the Empower program, right? And I always ask the question, how is this relevant universally, right? Could this be relevant 100 years from now? Could this be relevant, 100 years ago?
Yeah.
And what initially drew me to the system, what initially drew me to this program, was these systems that I was studying
Hmm.
all started to relate to each other. So I was studying this system for healing the core wounds of humanity, and I was like, what if we relate this to the Empower program? And through the use of divergent thinking, you kind of have to be a genius to draw these conclusions. You can begin to see a correlation. So I was studying the system by Robert Kiyosaki, the eight
21st
wealth
century.
building
Yeah.
assets,
21st
and
century. Yeah.
yeah, the eight wealth building assets. And I was thinking, I was like, practicing these commitments lead us to these wealth building assets. Very interesting. Um, I also work a lot with the tarot. I work with the Enneagram. I work with planets and the zodiac, with DNA, right? All of these different aspects of the universe, universal law, shows us that the universe itself works in these systems. So to understand the unified field that connects all of these systems together, we really look at consciousness, right? That's what the university that I was studying for my master's in sustainable business, the Maharishi University of Management, right? Their slogan is consciousness-based education. I actually have a book from there, as I should have brought it down here with us, but it's called Celebrating Perfection in Education, um, and it's really understanding perfection in your education through understanding consciousness, right? Uh, so a lot of times when we go on this journey of education, right, we're searching for more and more and more and more and more. You learn something, and then there's something more that you have to learn. You learn something, and there's something more that you have to learn, and it's ultimately unfulfilling, right? You kind of get hooked on information, and you become this information junkie. And the solution for that is consciousness. It's what we're teaching here. It's you understand these core things, and you understand the totality. You understand everything. So at the basic level, when you're just getting started, we just keep things simple. We say it's these 8 things. You know these 8 things. You know everything, right? Um, before you even get started, it's even more simpler than that. It's just these 3 things that we tell people. It's in digital publishing,
Mm-hmm.
media marketing, and it's leadership development. It says that's blogging daily, that's telling others, it's getting money. Say that's fire, air, and water. The foundational, fundamental elements, right?
Yep.
Excuse me while I plug this in. So what I want to be talking about today is it, it's the sixth. We're at the sixth. We're at the seventh. The seventh core commitment, right? Which is it's called Empower Hour, which is doing this live call once a week, this hangout once
Every every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. No, it's 9 p.m. Eastern.
9
8
p.m.
p.m. Central.
Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific time, and and doing this is what will create genuine wealth creation for us. Now, Robert Kiyosaki says in his book, there's 4 steps to genuine wealth creation. I think a lot of us here, because of these 4 steps, we want to do these 4 steps. It's invest in business, reinvest in business, invest in real estate, and then invest in pleasures, right? Luxuries. Um, so I think a lot of people get started in online business because they want real estate. They want to own land. They want to build a home, have a family. Um, so you kind of follow this process of first investing in your business, right, and operating it mobily, and then creating community that can come together through live events, right?
Right.
We do live events every week, and then we do online, and then we do global events every 90 days, someplace around the world, someplace where we all fly out and meet together. And as we do this process, first building the business digitally through blogging, through these type of hangouts, then through reinvesting in the business, right? Continuing to grow it through marketing, continuing to grow it through attending these events, making these commitments to be at these
Daily
events,
reading. Yeah.
all of it. and then we can take that and we invest that into our real estate, for our home, and for our family, uh,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah, and the other thing about it is, it was talked about last night as one of the first things. You got to know what you want, and so that's really clearly defined. Within our group, within Empower, the company as a whole. So, it's a common thing among leaders to ask you, well, what exactly do you want? So then you can define the parameters of that personally, spiritually, and materially as far as finances, and then you go to learn the things here to make that happen.
So we're growing business together. We're growing this community. And then what happens is there's something called the Lucifer experiment that happens. And if you don't know what the Lucifer experiment is, basically what that means is when someone separates from the whole, which is okay. You're perfectly allowed to do that. You're allowed, spirit is free. You're free to separate as you wish. Um, and it's interesting when this happens because it's usually because of some misconception. There's a misconception of love. There's a misconception of unity, and people think that whatever it is they're following, whatever it is that happens with the community is they're not feeling uh, the love, right? They're not feeling accepted. They're not feeling whole, and they're not being humble to the wholeness, to the group, and they want to do something on their own, right? Um, and this is evident when people are not promoting the Empower Our Call. They're not promoting the community environment, right? So one of the commitments that we have is for this process of genuine wealth creation is to continue to promote the team hangouts, right? So
Hmm.
remember, we're not just doing the task of the process of promoting the team, the community call. We're also creating the value ourselves because we're conscious of it. So what do? We start our own hangout on Tuesdays, and we kind of do our own Empower Hour call here, because the process, when you do a team hangout, when you meet live for someone, for your team once a week, you're able to uh, right, empower them. If you're doing anything else besides empowering them, you're not building these steps for genuine wealth creation, right? Uh, you're not networking in a way that is going to bring unity, that's going to bring strength and joy and love to humanity, to this world. So uh, anything that you do, everything that we do, is for the pure intent of empowering others. So,
Right.
so what do? We have the team hangouts. Our team, it's every Tuesday at this time. This is where you get to connect personally with us. Then we have the greater community, which is on Mondays.
Hmm. And
And
then James has his personal group on Thursdays too.
right,
Yeah.
so this is something to learn about and to model, right, for your own organization building, right? Is to do something live for your organization every week, and there is a standard for doing this that I've been developing that we can look at. We're going to go into that more on Thursday, I think, with the Undercover Millionaires. You can check us out then. Um, but I want to go over a few blocks that people have about uh, about doing this commitment and about making it happen. First, do you have a block about promoting the team calls? Do you have a block about uh, promoting Empower Hour? Do you have a block about promoting this call? Um, and do you have a block about creating your own? Because some people, when they get started, they want to create their own right away, and that's fine. You might be there in that place in your business, but a lot of people, when they first get started, uh, you don't feel comfortable on camera. You don't feel comfortable knowing what it is that you're going to say, having things to say for people, being able to give value that truly empowers people. Um, so how do you come up with that? Where does that really come from, and how do you get over that?
Yeah,
Uh,
I had to do a lot of this, a while back, and sometimes this stuff just has to sink in, and you kind of grow with it, And then as you grow with it, you're just able to give out and release it at that level, when you're ready, really.
so first off, I want to say it's like, what is it that you're really after that you worship? Because some people have these false idealities of materialism, power, money, and going after these things is not going to create a successful hangout for you. A lot of people are attracted to Empower Network because they think, oh, I want power, I want money, when actually it's the Empower Network, right? We're only here to empower others, to help others make money, right?
Right.
Uh, so make sure you're straight on that. And then I want to say, do you imagine yourself in a fearful or impoverished state? Because if you're approaching others to empower them with your content, with your information, and you have a fearful state in you where you're imagining yourself impoverished, that's going to reflect and come out in what you do, and you're not going to be successful doing that. Um,
Sure.
and then I want you to
And
think,
it's okay to have feelings, sure.
it's
Because
okay to
people
have
go,
feelings. Yeah, yeah. And if you're
right.
feeling that way, embrace that. But make sure that you're operating from a state of inspiration and not desperation. Um,
Absolutely.
and next, I want to ask you about your true individuality, right? Um, so, what is it that makes you really you, right? This is how we're going to be attracting people to our webinars. Hopefully, I think people are attracted to this webinar because I talk about consciousness, I talk about kind of weird stuff.
Right.
Um,
Well,
yeah,
this makes you a totally uh, an individual, as you are. That's just not like anyone else, and yet, like in life, there's the principle of interdependence too. So in some sense, we all rely on each other, and that's when people work together, things work out better.
right, because you have to learn about yourself from mentors. So you have to
Absolutely.
get on the Empower Hour call. You have to work with with your mentor so that you can learn more about yourself. And then you turn that around and you take your individuality and you boost that up and you say, okay, these are the parts of me that I love, that I like, that I'm going to share with others so that I can attract more people like that uh, to this. We're talking about you creating your own webinar, right? Your own weekly show. Um, you becoming your own superstar for your community is what is going to be coming next after this, right? Um, what do you repress socially about yourself? What uh, what do you think is not acceptable about who you are, your mission, what it is that you're trying to bring to you? Uh,
Hmm.
is there this social system around you that's repressing you, that's not allowing you to be yourself, right? Because I think a lot of us turn to online marketing in this online world because the people around us, right? Maybe it's our family, our friends, maybe it's the system we're in, are not allowing us to be who we want to be, right? So you can think about that too, because this is a place for you to be free and set up your freedoms and really attract the people around you. Um,
Right.
and and you can think about this because sometimes there might be some pain involved when we do realize that in these different social settings that we're in these different places in our lives, uh, that we lose a part of ourselves. We have to lose and sacrifice a part of ourselves when we maybe go to that job or when we go to school. A part of us is then not accepted in that place, in that reality. So imagine that lost self of you now. What would that lost self say to you? And can you give that lost self a voice to speak?
Right. That's where you want to be in touch with yourself and able to, you know, not only listen to your what you have to say, but then the blogging relates to writing too, and that's being able to get in touch with yourself to sort of express where you're coming from and where you want to go and where you're at.
And so the original pain that brought us here, right? That we felt inside of us, that decided, that made us decide that we were going to make a change, right? We talk about these original pains, these core wounds of repression, denial, shame, rejection, guilt, separation, right? Uh, what are these original pains, right? What's the original reason why you sought out to make money online, to make a better life for yourself, right? And what character traits have you developed to help you deal with this original pain, right? Because sometimes we create these barriers, these blocks that uh, we think we're protecting ourselves, right? We're keeping ourselves safe from not going into those pains, right? Not activating it. But sometimes we got to realize, are we developing fake character traits about us to help us deal with that pain? And can we eliminate those, right? Can we let those go? Can we be more ourselves?
It's a good point.
Um, what was your original wound, right? Do you even know? Some people don't even know. It's so far down, buried deep down inside you, that just to pick it up, to look at it, um, you
I
know
think most of us are probably
right.
dealing with at least a couple of these, because they're called what, core wounds, you call them?
The core wounds,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think most people are dealing with a couple, if not, I mean, probably not all
Yeah.
at once, but at least a couple, so they make you challenge yourself and look at what's going on, in a realistic way. I like that, you know.
Yeah, so we start to develop these coping mechanisms, and some are healthy, and some are not, right? And we have to look at that and we say, okay, so if there's something I'm doing, if I'm experiencing, and you can look at these core wounds for yourself and for your business as well. Um, and this is important to note, as we're looking at developing online hangouts for yourself, right? Because this is what's going to draw in your crowd, right? This is what's going to draw in your audience, right? These people who identify with your pain, right? And the coping mechanism. So, if your pain is, I'm unhealthy, and your coping mechanism is to eat more cheeseburgers, That's not an accurate way to assess that problem, right? And some of us continue to tell lies to ourselves. So if you're not getting enough traffic to your website, and you're feeling this pain of being separated uh, from your audience, right? And you think the solution is to go pin up flyers around downtown with your website on it. Um, maybe that would have worked in the early 90s. You're going to have a
I've tried
very
that one.
small, you have to think a little bit bigger, right? You have to learn some of these
Right.
techniques of Facebook advertising, Google
Social
PPC,
media has so many platforms and inroads for this now. Yeah.
right?
And power gives people the techniques, and just a lot of the people who have succeeded and are succeeding, including yourself.
But then if people are seeing your marketing and they're looking at your offer and then rejecting you, right?
Hmm.
That's another wound that you have to look at. Um, or if you're not even getting the results that you like through your marketing and you're feeling ashamed, or you're not even aware that you're suffering and your business is in the red, and you're in denial, right? That's another um, thing that we have to look at. How do we cope with this? Um, and if you don't even have a business, you don't even have a value there that you believe in. You're repressed, right? So all of these wounds here, we're going to go over uh, proper coping mechanisms for all of these in a minute. Um, you know, uh, do you do you feel yourself uh, protected, right? Do you know that you're an Empower member now, right? You're looked after. You're good. Do you know that when you go through these programs, you follow the steps that you're good, right? You're looked after. You're protected. You understand that. Um, do you have a fear of discomfort that is keeping you from achieving your destiny, right? Um, and particularly, do you have a discomfort of self-knowing? Because what is it that the Empower program teaches you? The mentors here teach you that we're all teaching you. We're teaching you personal development. We're teaching you about yourself, self-knowing. And a lot of people don't want to know, right? You
Right.
don't want to know about yourself, right? You don't want to know the answer, right? You want the result, but you don't want to know more about yourself because there's
Sure.
this discomfort there. So, do you
There's an
have
accountability factor for sure.
you have a fear of that discomfort about self-knowing that is keeping you from your destiny, right?
Hmm.
Um,
That's good.
can you stop blaming others and empower yourself?
Hmm. Yeah, think I heard Les Brown a day or two ago said, stop putting the blame for a week. Stop making complaints for 1 week. You know,
Right, right. Because
good
what happens,
challenge.
you come in here, you want to blame the company, you want to blame your upline, the management, the CEO. If you're at a job, you want to blame your boss, you want to blame your spouse, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, uh, everyone else. But what if, and what if you empowered yourself and started taking responsibility and say, hey, those results, I did that, I got that,
Right.
you know. um, because it is about empowering you. It's about radical self-reliance and you being the boss, right? I got my boss pin here.
There you go. Nice. Nice.
So Uh,
And that's where a lot of the the empowerment lies, or the change lies, is what you can do, because what's outside of your control is not really things you can do. So you have to start looking at what you're able to do, and then that's where you can make the change.
yeah. So, what traits do you find blameworthy in others, right? And what does this reveal about your hidden self, right? Because a lot of times, and we don't often recognize that we're doing this, uh, we might blame someone else for something that we really want to change about ourselves. So uh, maybe you want to stop overeating, and then someone else just has like a little sandwich, and you just flip out on them. You're just look at how fat you are eating that sandwich, and what are you doing? It's like you're just eating a sandwich, like relax. Um, and it happens in business too when you start having a downline, and you're like, why aren't you on the meetings? Why are you sending traffic out? Where's your marketing going? And it's just like, well, if you look at yourself, you know, are you doing all that?
True.
And uh,
And I think there's areas we can always all improve in, you know, that goes for just about everyone. So,
yeah, so pay attention on where you find the blame, because when you find yourself noticing you wanna seek other people, say what's blameworthy in other people, it's oftentimes what you find hidden about yourself. The old metaphor, when you point a finger, you have
three at
I was like
yourself.
I was like four fingers pointing back at you. It's like you got a lot of fingers pointing back at you. Um, um, yeah. So what aspects of your life preoccupy you? That you're finding most important, um, and why are you avoiding a closer look? There's some good
Good
ones.
question.
Um, hmm. uh, yeah, sometimes a lot of us we go through things just to get them done. You read a book just to read it. You listen to audio just to listen to audio. You blog just to get over with. You're like, okay, I did it, boom, done. And then what do you go out and do? You want to, watch Netflix, play video games, uh, you know, go out on the dance floor. Um, are you preoccupying your time with things that don't deserve a closer look? What things deserve a closer look that you should get into.
Right. Good point. That's majoring on the things that you want to, putting more attention of your time, you know, qualifying your time, and taking responsibility for it, so you can make more of what you want.
All right, last question here, um, before I get into to a little process, and then we do this little review, and then
Cool.
I think it'll be time to get off and hit the consciousness, right? So, who or what do you seek to control? Because in reality, that thing controls you, right? So, in a lot of ways, we think, we want to master money, because, or else it's going to master us, right? Um, and in all aspects, in all parts of these 8 different commitments, if you don't learn how to control it, right, it's going to control you. Um, and this is part of all different parts of business, right? Um, and and think about that. How do you control something? Yeah. Is it through force? Is it through manipulation? Is it through strength? right? Is it through knowledge, through consciousness? I want you to say something and repeat this after me and say,
Okay.
I am in perfect alignment with abundance.
I'm in perfect alignment with abundance.
I flow with spiritual illumination.
I flow with spiritual illumination.
So if you can imagine when I was getting started doing these hangouts, right? And this happens with a lot of people, right? Uh, I didn't know what to say. I was flustered all the time, um, and I just didn't have that presence, right?
Right.
And I went through this process of just imagining white light, this flowing, being, radiating, emanating from my eyes, right? And it was this consciousness, this cleansing that kind of went over me, so that I could truly align myself with delivering the the most empowering information that I can. And and you can do this now every time. Before you get on a hangout, before you're doing your own, when you're searching for that empowerment inside you to share and give with others, uh, white light washing over your eyes, uh, and this beaming, radiant eminence, right, that
Yeah.
can come from it. Uh, because it's through the eyes, it's in the eyes that that the empowerment is exchanged, right? You can recognize that, and you can ask yourself, what you are seeing, and allow visions and intuitions to come to you then. Um,
Yeah.
I always want to talk about these secrets, these .com secrets in this playbook, the underground playbook for growing your business online. Um,
Who's the author of that one again?
Russell Brunson,
Oh yeah, yeah.
he's the creator of
Sure.
ClickFunnels,
Yeah.
um, which is like, if you don't know about Empower Network, maybe it could be a good solution for you. But it's nothing that Empower Network doesn't have. But it's a brilliant book. It goes into a lot of detail and stuff. You can get it for free, and then um, for a chance for him to sell his ClickFunnels stuff on you. And I ended up buying it for $200 just because I liked the book so much. And I was being like Sam Walton. I was being humble. I wanted to check out other systems that are out there, because I like to check out all the systems besides Empower Network. I'm not like closed-minded in that. I do check out all of them, and I continue to promote Empower and only promote Empower because it's the best and it aligns with all of these systems like I've been sharing with you.
Yeah.
Uh, so
Continue to resonate.
we're talking about creating systems ourselves, right? I'm talking about all of these different systems, um, but in reality, we're the system busters, right? The Empower system is kind of like a system you can continue to bust over and over and over again. And as we're going through this process of creating these blogs, doing these hangouts like this, we're creating natural systems for ourselves, right? And this is a way we can genuinely share enthusiasm about our passion, what it is we're doing through these systems. Um, so if you're letting these wounds get to you, repression, denial, shame, rejection, guilt, separation, right? Um, it's because you're operating on a lower frequency. And
And those are part of life. Sometimes you just need to reflect and come back to yourself, and you give a very good solution, because a lot of people are dealing with at least one, if not a couple of those at any given time.
and when I say frequency, when I'm talking about, you're on a low vibration. I think a lot of people understand that, but it's still this kind of like hippie new age kind of terminology, and that's okay. I'm okay being called a hippie. I'm okay being called New Age, but I want you to know that uh, this this teaching that I'm sharing with you is uh, fundamentally based in science, right? In actual knowledge, right? Uh, you have to understand quantum mechanics if you really want to understand the basis for this understanding, because you understand inside each one of us, inside of our own, you know, our own hands, right, down at the quantum level, inside of our DNA, everything's vibrations, right? Everything's vibrating, and because it's vibrating, all of the genes inside of us, they're vibrating at specific frequencies. And there's things that happen in our day-to-day lives where this vibration frequency changes, right? When we get hungry, when we get tired, when we're stressed, the vibration starts to get really low. It's these bigger, fatter vibrations, right? When we're well rested, when we've eaten healthy, maybe when we've exercised, when we've practiced yoga, meditation, we raise our vibration. We raise the frequency. So there's these practices of yoga, meditation that are inherent to raise the frequency, raise the vibration of humans. And what I found interesting is that this the power system is specifically, it's the same for raising the frequency of business, right? So when you're resonating with these core wounds, repression, denial, shame, rejection, guilt, separation, and you feel this lack or this hurting either in yourself or your business, uh, and your business will be a reflection of yourself. So we work on you to raise the vibration of your business. You're vibrating at these lower frequencies, right? We call these shadow frequencies in the language of the gene keys, as Richard Wood describes.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're feeling repressed, right? This is the first core wound. Um, you're embracing this exhaustion, right? You're just feeling sick and tired, having to go to that job over and over again, and we give you this gift that allows you to release this gift of resolve. You're able to resolve this exhaustion by taking your business into your own hands, gaining a real world business education, learning about affiliate network marketing, right, or owning your own business, maybe getting real estate. And the embodiment here, the higher the gift frequency resolve, it's a little bit higher frequency. Now we're resolving all these things that repress us, that exhaust us. And then the embodiment here is divine will, right? And knowing this is the sacred seal, this is the superpower here, the divine will, and knowing that you're not letting a system or a boss or anything tell you what to do. It's your decision, right? You're taking action on what are the instances that are going to fulfill you in your day-to-day life, right? The power of your own business, right? A real-world business education. Um, the next one, denial, right? Uh, this is when you get caught up in embracing the shadow of opinion, right? All these people talking all around you. Oh, it's, you know, I believe it's this way, and you're thinking about all of these different opinions. But what and people do this in their blogs all day long. People share blogs about their opinions on things. These aren't the most popular blogs, right? Um, we then move on to this gift of farsightedness, right? So now when you're being farsighted, you're starting to look at things, you're starting to read things, you're starting to learn things and look far into the future. and see what is actually there, right? This is the gift that cures denial, right? And we're raising a little bit higher the frequency from farsightedness,
Hmm.
um, gaining us a profitable path to personal development, right? We do this through blogging every day, and this gives us the embodiment of the superpower omniscience,
Mm.
right? Because now through this blogging network that we create, we start to understand this farsightedness from everyone, right?
Right.
We
And then the
see
more we write and get our ideas out, then we can, we're able to understand how we relate to everything. The more you get your idea out, you get in touch with what you're trying to find out and describe, and what your words are like.
exactly this omniscience that you may embody through releasing foresightedness, right? This is what cures denial, right? The shadow of opinion, and to achieve this, right, the commitment is blog daily. You continue to blog, you're going to gain this foresightedness. You're going to continue to look further in with your sight as you share your information, right? And gain this omniscience. People are going to come onto your blog and they're going to see all of the things that you know. They're going to see this omniscience, right? And you share it with others. And as you go through the process, right, you're going to be developing yourself. And as you're connecting your blog to with the next step, it's going to talk about marketing, right? It's going to become profitable for you. It's also going to become profitable for you because of the things that you learn and grow about yourself through this process, right?
That's right.
Uh, Shame, right? The next one, right? This is when we start feeling constricted, and when we're constricted, uh, we feel like all of these people around us uh, judging us, right? Your circle of friends, do not share your dreams and your values when you're feeling shame, when you're feeling constricted, right? So we start to release this gift of acceptance. We start to understand and know, okay, this is accepted, this isn't acceptable. So we market ourselves in a way that attracts the people that are acceptable to us, right? And that's how we gain a
Exactly.
circle of friends who share our dreams and values. This is the embodiment of universal love. When you embody universal love, you accept all of the different aspects of friends around you, right? And we do this through marketing, right? Universal love, embody universal love. Rejection. So now the people have come into your world, right? You've marketed and you've gotten these circle of friends to share your dreams and values, but now they're rejected, right? And it's this shadow of deafness. And as we embrace the shadow of deafness, right, we're able to release insight. And now we're gaining insight on, okay, we thought that these people shared our dreams and values, but now they're rejecting us. So we have this insight into
This is
why,
where coaching comes in, right?
right? This is when coaching comes in, right? And and it's the coaching, right? It's this gift of insight, right, that allows us to embody epiphany. And we reach this epiphany, and through coaching, through sharing insight, right? This is where we actually create the power of your own network. Um, because yeah, your friends, they can come in, they can share your dreams and your values. That's awesome. But if they're coachable, then you're able to grow your network because then they're able to share, what it is that you're doing, right? When you coach someone, when you begin coaching, that's where the epiphany happens. This fourth superpower, uh, guilt. is the next one. So maybe, and you can be guilty for, a couple. You can be guilty either because you're achieving massive results and maybe your team isn't, or you can feel guilty because maybe you see your results and you want bigger results. So here is where we embrace this shadow of intolerance, right? And intolerance is different between things that are unacceptable because you know what is unacceptable, but when you're intolerant of something, you don't really know why, and that's where we release this gift of understanding. And right, so this is the next core commitment of listening to audio. And sometimes we don't always know. You don't know what you don't know, so you need to plug into audios to understand, right?
Right.
Um, and once you understand, when you release this gift of understanding, this
And
is
in
what.
the past, you always had to, meet with someone personally. What the digital world allows us to, meet with other people through audios, CDs, or videos. So it's a way that technology allows you to get that kind of coaching.
Well, it's a specific way that we learn through activating the brain waves, right, through audio. And
Definitely.
and audio actually activates your brain waves in a specific way to allow you to learn and grow in a certain way. And doing it in this way gives us uh, a duplicable, fully scalable business, right? Because this is how we're able to scale business and duplicate is through sharing knowledge and information through audio, right?
Absolutely.
And uh, as we release this understanding for ourselves, this gives us this superpower of forgiveness, right? Because now you can stop being so intolerant, you can stop feeling guilty, and you can start embodying forgiveness once you have understanding of what you must know, right? The last wound here is separation, right? So when it gets this bad, and you're feeling this separation, you start to embrace doubt. You start to doubt yourself, doubt your capabilities, doubt those around you, and when you do this, you can release the gift of inquiry and begin to inquire why is it this way? Why must it be this way? And when we inquire, right, we can do this by reading things up in Google. If you're going to read blogs, you can find the book in a library that's going to solve your question. You can ask a
Hmm.
mentor for a book. Inquire. They're going to give you a book, and you can start reading. And what comes with reading is incomparable leadership skills, right? And when you release this gift of inquiry, you're able to embody this superpower of truth, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So these are all of the invincibility tips that we've gone over so far. We've shared with you in each of these past hangouts, these past webinars. We've gone into detail about each of these core wounds and the formula for embracing the shadow, releasing the gift, and embodying the city, which is the superpower that I learned from Richard Rudd in his book, The Gene Keys. And I've shared with you, how this correlates with business, with these core wealth building assets that Robert Kiyosaki talks about, with the core commitments that Dave Wood talks about, and and this is the reason why I uh, I promote Empower Network. And someone asked me a very potent question, something very special to me. Actually, asked me, um, why should we make money? Why why do you need to make money? And and I started going back to these reasons. You need, uh, because of all of these reasons. And when I started to seriously think about that, why do you need to make money? That's what triggered me to start blogging. because I understood that I had to share with this person, why it's important that we do build business. Why is it important that we do build community?
Mm-hmm.
That's why you should follow this program, right? Is to answer that core question of why for yourself. Why are you here? What are you searching to change? Is it because of one of these core wounds? Do you suffer from one of these? Do someone you know, or their peoples of humanity, that you don't want these persons to feel these wounds, right? You want to inspire these superpowers. You want to give these gifts to people. That's why we're in business, right? It's to solve these problems, right? So uh, if if any of these wounds, are resonating with you in your business, if any of these shadows are happening in your business, right? If you just feel exhausted working your business, if you just feel like, when you're talking about your business, all it is just your opinion, right? When you're looking at getting new members, new clients, new customers, right? You just feel constricted with it. When you try to share your knowledge and coach, does it just feel like everyone's deaf to what it is that you're talking? And uh, when you want to grow, right, and create duplication, are people just intolerant of uh, of
You
your
get
of your
a little bit of all of those, right?
right?
Yeah. So how does the seventh power tie into this, James?
That's what I'm getting to now, right?
Figured you were headed there.
Right, yeah. So this last one, right? Right after doubting yourself. So um, you're talking about, all of these, right? You feel all of them, right? And all of this is dishonor, right? Um, and and dishonor happens whenever you speak them alive, right? Whenever you realize that they're there, every time you notice it, right? It's dishonor, right? You're dishonoring yourself. You're dishonoring your business when uh, you acknowledge, embrace any of these shadows, right? These wounds that happen. You realize, wow, you're not honoring yourself by releasing these gifts of resolve, foresightedness, acceptance, insight, understanding, inquiry, right? Um, you may even feel, dishonor when you're not embodying your true self, who it is you are, right? Of these superpowers, divine will, omniscience, universal love, epiphany, forgiveness, truth, right? Um, and when we recognize this dishonor is when we're able to release this gift of graciousness. So graciousness is how we deal with our wounds, right? Because you know we can realize we're humble enough that we want to learn. We want to learn about these wealth building assets, how to have a real world business education, how to have a profitable path of personal development, how to have a circle of friends who share our dreams and values, how to have the power of our own network, how to have a duplicable, fully scalable business, how to have incomparable leadership skills. We want a mechanism for genuine wealth creation, and we're humble enough to be able to know where we're wrong and seek mentors and guidance of how to help it. So with graciousness, right, we learn these formulas,
That's
this
great.
three-step process. And so it's with grace, which is superpower, that we step onto these webinars, right? We do these hangouts so that we can empower our community, we can empower those we care about. So it's this superpower of grace that heals all wounds, right? Through this gift of graciousness,
That's
and
great.
that's sharpening the saw here. That's this mechanism for genuine wealth creation. That's what we do through these hangouts, these Empower Hour calls, right? Um, it's grace, and with grace and the movement of grace, uh, and is how we must continue.
Like it.
Showing up for these live hangouts, these webinars, um, and continuing to do our great work, right?
Hmm.
Um,
That was well put.
so that is the sum up of the 7 sacred powers that I uncovered for you to use to change this complexity of online business and community building into something really simple that you can grab onto.
That's great.
Um, I'm going to do a bonus webinar next week. I might do 2 bonus webinars and give you 2 additional superpowers and formulas. Um, just because I like the number 9, and I think 9 is a really powerful number. Um, so we're going to continue next week with a secret bonus, right? And
Come back and join us.
we're going to be talking about big dreams and the capacity to live them, right?
Hmm.
And the formula for that, and how you can truly live your big dreams. So that's going to be exciting. And I'll see you on Thursday with the Undercover Millionaires at 7:30 Eastern Time. Look at your email. We're going to be going over the rating standard for how you can rate yourself on how you do hangouts and how you commit to this core commitment.
Yeah,
Um,
everybody come to that because James and his friend do a great job on that hangout. It's really good, formative, and great bunch of people.
and I just want to check if there's any questions. I'm sure there are. Um, I know there was some that people were asking earlier. Um,
See any questions? I'm not looking at Facebook at this time.
yeah, I got multiple Facebooks opens. Uh, if I didn't answer your question already, make sure you message me and I'll get a response to you immediately or as soon as I can. And yeah, I just want to share with you peace, love, and abundance, and speed in making your dreams a reality, right? And go conquer those 8 core commitments, and then message me and let me know how you're doing on them. And we'll get you to the next level, we'll get you the next step, get you to the next income boost, and let's make your dreams a reality.
Yeah, thanks a lot for joining us. Great.
James
Thanks,
Tipton
James.
and Chris Camp from the Invincibility Mastermind, here to make your business, your dreams, your brand invincible. Peace, love, and abundance.
Peace.